Hey, it's a shame point to the word. This will be part number 5 of marriage and roles God has given us. So we're going to be in 1 Timothy chapter 2 and also Titus chapter 2. So the header for 1 Timothy chapter 2, starting in verse 9, says guidelines for women. So we're still on the topic of roles for women, though it will kind of bleed over. It'll talk about some of the men roles of men too. Don't mind my dog; she's whining. So hope that doesn't interrupt you guys, but she's kind of dramatic. Yeah, so it will bleed over, and that'll be all right though. It's good to have that repetition. So starting verse 9, 1 Timothy chapter 2. Guidelines for women. In like manner, also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel or clothing, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. So basically, you don't want to be like the world. You want to be humble and just very modest. And then it continues and says, but with which becometh women professing godliness with good works. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp, or maybe override, not to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. So that's how God created it. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman, being deceived, was in the transgression or sin. So we already covered, Genesis, chapter 2 and all that, and, covering, it'd be Genesis, chapter 3, that, Eve was deceived. So, and that's not to say, men can't be deceived, but, it's just really focusing on, the roles God gave us. So, God gave, woman to be in subjection to man, and that man should have that leadership, and we're responsible for the women and our wives and stuff like that. So notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness and sobriety. With sobriety. I apologize again for my dog. She followed me in here. So now we're going to go to Titus chapter 2, which is a couple of books to your right, and we'll cover verses 2 to 8. So it says that the aged men or older men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, and charity and patience. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, and to love their children. So I think verse 4 is really important. To teach, and that's the role of older women. And so, we just we just went through, First Timothy, where it says, let the wives, be. I'll just flip back to it. I want to make sure I quote that right. Yeah, so it says not to usurp or override the authority of man. So like that's not to say that women can't teach anything, which it's good to bounce back and forth because it's like a giant puzzle piece. You complete the picture. So if we go to Titus now it kind of piggybacks off that and says, hey, you can teach your children and stuff like that, or actually younger women to be sober, to love their husbands, and to love their children. And so older women should be teaching the younger women, and likewise older men should be teaching younger men. That's what I'm trying to do with my younger son right now. He's my 6-year-old son. I'm trying to teach him these things. So we've actually already been over this. We're, probably a couple of videos ahead. So like, where, my kid's at, we're a couple of videos behind. So he's currently, in the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, the virtuous woman kind of thing. So, That's where we're at there. So I really want to teach him what to kind of look out for and stuff like that. So Zoe, sit. Sorry about that. All right, so and they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. And now it's going to talk about young men, and that's all right. Young men likewise exhort to be sober minded in all things, showing thyself a pattern of good works, in doctrine showing uncorruptness, gravity, and sincerity, sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. And so I think we actually, in the last video, kind of talked about that. I talked about like Daniel and Joseph. So just it's cool how it kind of covers back, and how it more than once reiterates those kind of things for us. So it's really important that we do that. So I'll cut it there, and then we'll head it. Still cover the roles of women. I'll stop there. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.